Hi guys, welcome back to the Curly Reader. Today I want to talk to you about my TBR for Spookathon. So Spookathon is a readathon that is hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala, and it takes place from October 14th through the 21st. There are 5 different challenges, and the whole theme is to read thrillers or things that are spooky or scary. So that's something that I don't typically do, but I figured 'tis the season to be spooky, so why the heck not? Um, like I said, I don't typically read a lot of thrillers or anything scary. I'm a pretty chicken sort of person. I don't like scary movies or anything like that. So this is going to be a little bit different for me, but I picked out some books that I'm actually have been interested in. So I'm really hoping that this will be successful. The first challenge that Kayla set forth is to read a thriller. And for this one, I actually picked one I'm going to be listening to on audiobook, and that is The Silent Patient by Alex Michaelides, I think is how you pronounce his last name. I have heard rave reviews about this book. I know a lot of people that have read it this year and really, really loved it. The premise is that this woman is arrested for killing her husband, and when she's put in jail, she stops talking completely. She goes mute, and she is forced to see a therapist to try to figure out what's going on, and that's all I know. So I have, like I said, heard multiple people, and a lot of people that don't read a lot of thrillers have read it and loved it, so this is going to be my thriller of the week. The second challenge is to read a book with red on the cover. And for this one, I am going to be reading Sing Unburied Sing by Jesmyn Ward. I am buddy reading this one with Krista from Books and Jams. We've previously buddy read some things together and decided we wanted to pick up Jesmyn Ward next. So this is one that we had talked about buddy reading this month, and it's very red. So it definitely fills that challenge, and I think it's a little bit spooky too. I mean, unburied, I'm thinking. So I'm not 100% sure what this is about. I know it's set in the South, and I don't really know. I'm really looking forward to it though. I'll have more for you in my wrap up as far as what it's about. The next challenge is to read a book with a spooky word in the title. And for this one, I'm going to be picking up finally A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, inspired by an idea from Siobhan Dowd. This monster, creepy title, but this is a very, very well loved YA, I think is what it is. Story. It is illustrated quite a bit throughout it, and it deals with grief. I know that, and so the monster I think in this book is grief, and it's about a little boy and that. So I have been wanting to pick this up for a very, very long time, and thought that October seemed like the perfect time to read a book about monsters. So that is going to fill that challenge. The next challenge is to pick a book set in a spooky setting or location. And for this one, I picked Small Spaces by Catherine Arden. This is a middle grade thriller, and it is set in a spooky, on a spooky farm in the woods. These kids go on a field trip and to a farm, and they end up out in the woods, and it's scary. I know that, but I figured since I don't really like scary things, maybe a middle grade thriller would be better for me, and I like to throw middle grade into my readathons a lot anyway, so I'm really looking forward to this. This has been on my TBR for a while as well. I read The Bear and the Nightingale by Catherine Arden earlier this year. That's an adult novel, and I know that book was very, very atmospheric, so I'm hoping that this one will be pretty atmospheric as well with a spooky setting. So that is my pick for that challenge. And then the last challenge is to read something you wouldn't typically pick up. And so for me, a lot of these are things I typically wouldn't pick up because I don't really read thrillers very much. But specifically for this challenge, I'm going to be picking up Grimm. This is a collection of short stories that is edited by Christine Johnson. It is YA, but it is all short stories that are fairy tale retellings with dark and sinister twists. So they're like horror versions of fairy tale retellings. I don't read short stories, so that's why I picked this one up. One, I don't read horror. Two, I don't read short stories. So I figured this would be a double hit for that one. But I thought that this would be good for a readathon because even if I only read a few of the short stories, I can count it. So yeah, so that will be my pick for that challenge. So those are the 5 books that I'm going to be hopefully reading. That week I will also be reading Thunderhead by Neil Shusterman. Emily from Books for Life and I are hosting a Scythe read along where we're reading Scythe and Thunderhead during the month of October, and the last 2 weeks of October we are going to be reading Thunderhead, so I will be reading that as well during that week. So I don't know if we'll be able to get through all of these, but I'm hoping with the middle grade and the short stories and the audiobook that, you know, this won't be too difficult to accomplish, but we'll see. So anyway, are you partaking in Spookathon? If so, what is a book that you're really looking forward to? And if you're not partaking in Spookathon, what is a spooky book that you're hoping to pick up during the month of October? So that's going to do it for me for this TBR. I hope that you enjoyed this and that you are doing all things spooky during this month, if that's your thing. If not, do all things cozy. That's good for the fall too. But yeah, other than that, I hope that you enjoyed this and that you stick around and subscribe. And until next time, see ya!